What's happening? Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
Welcome to another random vehicle where I'm going to tell you about this climb that I did, this boulder specifically that I did. It's probably the closest that I've ever come to dying on a boulder. Dramatic, not dramatic, over dramatic? I don't know. You can be the judge of that. So now let's get into this story time with climbing. Yep, I guess that's what this is. So fair warning, this video is about a boulder. So if you have no interest in hearing about me climb a boulder, this video is not for you. You're still here, so let us begin. Oh my god, I just hit the steering wheel and then the glove compartment popped open. And a few things. This is bouldering, the thing that I'm going to be showing you. It is a style of rock climbing. I get asked a lot, like, why are you not wearing a helmet? We just don't do that in that we just don't do that. And I swear, like, I'm not trying to say that to be any kind of way. I'm just like, here are the facts. There's this sport that exists. It's just not really typical to wear helmets. Could anyone if they wanted to? Yeah, for sure, totally. But like, I don't know. Honestly, 99.9% of the time, I promise you, I am more worried about other parts of my body, like my ankles, my legs breaking, my arms even, my fingers pulling tendons and ligaments and stuff, more so than I am worried about like hitting my head. That's not to say that that's not something any of us, or I specifically, shouldn't be concerned about. It's just like, again, I'm just telling you, like, this is just how it is, you know? That's just, so there's the answer to that question, because I know I'm going to get that. Okay, so just another little, as I was saying, there's different size boulders. There's a lot of people who will look at something that's really tall and be like, oh, not for me, I don't want to do that. So it really just depends. It's kind of like your personal choice on what you want to climb. And to me, like, I like highballs, which is, I don't know, maybe this is just how I classify things, but you've got like boulders, and then you've got tall boulders, and you got like highball boulders. I guess in my personal opinion, there's certain boulders that I would consider highballs where it's kind of like there's basically what I showed y'all earlier, the reel that I had made or whatever with the sound bite. It's like there is a point of no return on a highball boulder. Like, basically it's like you're not gonna fall. You don't fall. Like, the only way is up. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because it's fun. And not just like fun in a, oh, this is fun kind of way. It's like, no, not just like that. It's like, if I climbed something that is super tall, bro, I had to fight for my life. So like, when I see something and it's super tall and I'm like, wow, that looks beautiful, super aesthetic, like I would love to climb that one day. It's kind of like, when the time comes, like, okay, like I'm gonna try it. It's not the same as like, oh, I'm just gonna hop on and like see what happens, right? It's like, no. It's a whole process. Like I said, a lot of self-reflection goes into it. It's like, yeah, you can test it out at the lower level, like the beginning of it, where it's still kind of like safer to fall and all that. But at a certain point, like I said, there's a point of no return. It's like, once you stick a certain move, once you get to a certain height, it's like, you are not coming down, because if you come down, it's probably going to be bad. Okay. And so, because those are the stakes, I have to think about, and it's like, it's not just thinking about something, it's like being brutally honest with yourself of like, what are your capabilities? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What does this climb require of you? And it's not even just all physical, right? Because a lot of it is mental, depending on how hard it is. But I would say, again, in my personal experience with these, I've only picked ones that I'm like, I know that physically I will be capable. It comes down to, can I combine that physical strength with the mental game at the same time for everything to come together to get the send, which means to successfully climb the thing. Just, yeah, it forces me to be brutally honest with myself, because there's sometimes, you know, when I'll try climbing something that isn't super tall and I'll be like, I just can't do it, I can't do it. It's like, I can get away with kind of maybe making some excuses and stuff, but with a highball, it's like, there's just no room for all of that. It's like, be for real. Either you can climb it or you can't, and either you're gonna or you're not gonna. Okay. I just like that space. But anyways, let's just get into it, because this is probably, like I said, this was not the first highball I ever did, because I did some easier ones before, but not very many. This was the first. This is a V3. So at the time, it was definitely like, I don't even know, I probably had only climbed either one V3 before this or something like that. So just a little bit of context about the boulder itself, in case any of you are curious. It is called Splash It On and Be Selfless. It is graded a V3. It's at Hueco Tanks. There is like a V4 variation, I believe. Yeah, because it like has a different start, and then you climb in to Splash It On and Be Selfless. So, you know, I want to go back for that at some point. It's like, why I want to do this all over again. Yes, I do. So basically, we showed up that day, and it wasn't even like I'd never seen this whole area before. Okay, this was like new to me. I knew that where we were going, these boulders were going to be tall, but we were also going other places afterwards, so I didn't, like, there's never an obligation to climb anything, right? I mean, it's just like, you show up, if it looks doable or you're psyched or whatever, cool, hop on. And if you're not, no big deal. There will be more boulders later. But anyway, so we show up there, we're all kind of just like trying the bottom and stuff, and here's a good example of even somebody more experienced than I am getting to kind of like that point of no return. And this is just kind of where you're like, okay, like you're thinking about it, just sussing it out and all that. So then there was one go where I tried it from the beginning, and I got to that point, and here's what happened.
Left hand up.
It's decent where I grabbed.
Come on. Just get a left foot up, Ahle, on the...
You got it. Come on.
Come on.
It's huge.
Left foot up, Ahle. Come on.
I'm too
You go
scared.
left again, it's okay. Oh.
Okay.
So yeah, I dropped off right there, and it's because I knew that it's like, once you stick the next move, game on. And I just like wasn't ready. So usually for me, I kind of need that one little chuff moment where I'm just like, no, never mind. Oh, no, I need to collect myself, you know. I think it was nice too, because, you know, like being able to feel the flow, like from the beginning to get there, and then it's like, okay, now I have that feeling, so now let me come down, and then now once I do it again, I know what this feels like, so like, cool, I know what to do, and then the next time I'm here is when I really have to like, it's on, you know? And then pretty much after that, that's all it was. It was kind of just that, like, talking to myself, like, thinking, like, yo, how do you feel about this? Are you in a good headspace? Do you really feel like you're going to be able to execute? Because, like, this is no playing around. And then, so there were 4 of us there that day, and one of the people, basically, in between my try and what I'm about to show you, they hopped on the climb and did it successfully. And at that point in time, he and I were like fairly comparable in our capabilities and strengths and stuff like that, and like what we could climb. So seeing him do it, I was like, hell yeah, like get it, that's awesome. And it gave me that little, like, I don't know, like inspiration or motivation or just like the psych, you know? I was like, heck yeah. I was like, get it, Carlos. I'm coming, I'm gonna do it too. And so that's just a random side note, but that's another really exciting thing about climbing, is like sometimes, you know, just you on your own, you can be like, like, I don't know. And then you just get inspired by all your friends and the people around you and how strong they are, how good they are, or they have different beta and they can unlock moves that you hadn't thought of doing it that way. And then you try their beta and it's like, wow, okay, cool, you know? So it seems maybe a little like an individualistic sport, but there's a lot of like teamwork and group stuff involved. Actually, even on that note, as far as like group and teamwork stuff, so in that clip that I showed you where I was like, I'm too scared, like I didn't have a spotter, because it's kind of like at a certain point with these tall boulders, like there's no point, like, you know, I mean, yes and no, it depends, but really it's kind of like no one can do anything at a certain point if you're, you know, to a degree. Like, yes, they can move pads and try to make sure you land semi-safely or whatever, but at a certain point, it's like, no, but bro, there ain't nothing nobody can do. Like, this on you. So here, we'll just go to this clip, which is the sun clip. So I'll start playing this now. And so this is me from the beginning hopping on, and I did actually ask one of the people that was there, I was like, can you give me an emotional support spot? And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, look, I understand that there's nothing you're going to be able to do, but can you just like stand here, and when I do this one move, just spot me, so like I feel it'll feel comforting. And so yeah, of course, like everyone's super nice, you know, so they're like, heck yeah. So that's like right here when we get to this, where is it? Just wait for it, you'll see him right now. It's right here to do the next move. I was like, please just put your arms up. And then I'm like, okay, and bam, and now it's like game on. It's like, okay, if I'm starting to go, it's like there ain't no coming down. Like, you gotta go up, bro. So pretty much all of these moves, like I said, this climb is a V3, and the holds are all fairly good from what I remember, especially on the lower part of it. It's really, once you get higher, that things get a little more sketchy, which like, maybe that sounds like it would always be the case, but it's not. Like sometimes you have good holds all the way, sometimes you have worse holds at the bottom and better holds at the top. Like it just kind of depends, and it also depends like your own personal, as I've been saying, strengths and weaknesses of what's going to work better for you. I need to hush so y'all can just like revel in this. Because it was scary. Like, look at how tall it is. What was I doing? Nah, I was having fun. And like, yeah, I was scared here, but still I felt like I was like okay, you know?
Super well.
I'll show you. I'll tell you when I wasn't okay.
Nice, cruising.
I think it's about, is it here yet? We're almost there.
You're good, yep, chalk up out of there, you're good.
I think it's this.
Nice.
I'm getting kind of sketched out and I'm chalking up and everything.
You got to, come on.
I was searching, yep, this is it, isn't it? Yeah, I'm searching for holds.
Good on there, work those feet, got good feet, yep, there you go.
It's right here. It's right here looking at me. Okay, my right hand was looking, my left hand was looking, and I'm feeling around with my left hand like, where's a decent hold? Where's a decent hold? Like, I'm so close to the top, how do I get out of here? Bro, I felt, okay, pause. I felt like on my left hand, I remember there was like a tiny little 2-finger crimp, and I was like, that's decent, but I'm way the heck up here, like, I don't want to use that. And they had all told me, everybody had told me, like, my friend who had just climbed it, people who had climbed it before, everyone's like, yeah, there's decent holds, like, decent, obviously, like, less good than the bottom, but, like, still, like I said, V3, so still doable at the top. And so I'm like, okay, I feel a 2-finger crimp, but I've been told that there's better, so where is the better? Because I don't necessarily feel super confident in going off of this. Like, I feel like I could, and this is something that I totally would do if I was like 4 feet, 5 feet off the ground, but like, bro, I'm way up here, what do I do? But then it's like, at the same time, it's like, after you climb so much, it's like, I have limited energy, I have to get out of here by a certain point, because like, I'm gonna start to get tired, I'm already tired, like, you know, so just like, and then you're like, I have to stay calm, I can't fall from up here, so I just have to execute, but like, I have to make good decisions, because you can't be doing super sketchy stuff, because you're so high, you know, which I feel like maybe this sounds like really stressful, and like, in a way, yeah, but like, also it's fun, I promise, so let's continue. Oh, and I went off of it. Oh my gosh, yes, I did. And then, yeah, and then you make it here, and it looks, like, in the video, it looks like it's over. You're like, oh, cool, they made it in that little crevice thing. This was so scary. Like, I don't know if you can tell, my legs are, like, low-key kind of shaking a little bit, because it's still not over. Like, you could still slide out of that thing. I'm like, oh my god. Still scared. I will never forget this experience. And now we're safe. Okay, and so really, I don't know, that was all. I just wanted to show you guys that climb and talk about how that was the scariest thing that I've ever climbed, like, thus far. Mainly, not because the boulder itself was the scariest one, because I feel like there's a couple of boulders that are maybe a contender for being more scary in a different way, but this was the one where I had, like, the most scary personal experience, like, in my head, where I was like, I don't know, I guess it's because I ended up using that 2-finger crimp because I was searching around for a good hold and I couldn't find anything better than that. So I was like, I guess I'm just gonna have to go off of this. And I did, and I made it. But I just remember, like, when I was pulling up off of it, I was just like, the only time I've had a moment where I'm like, I'm gonna go off this hold, I'm gonna pull on this, and I might fall from way up here. You know, like, because I've taken some big falls before, some scary ones, but the way that the boulders are, they kind of like stick out more, so even though it's a big fall or a tall fall, I feel like as long as I don't land horribly, there's pads and I'll like be okay. I want to do it like this, but it's like, no, I'll be okay. But with this one, because it was just straight up and down, once you get out of the beginning section, it's like if I fall, I don't know. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this little just hangout session / story time of this one time that I climbed this boulder, and I was really sketched out, but I did it anyways, and it was great. So yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.